Welcome to Realistic Reviews. On today's review, I'm going to be looking at the Tac-Force Stiletto, and this is the Speedster model. The model number is TF428. Now, I will say right off the bat that I know most people are going to think, oh, Tac-Force, what a piece of shit. And for the most part, when it comes to Tac-Force, I'd probably agree with you. It's kind of one of those companies where you look at what they have, a lot of it looks like cheap gimmicky junk. But this, maybe not so bad. I literally bought this online for like $7. You can get them really cheap on eBay or Amazon. And it's really not as bad as I expected. It's got a lot of weight to it, which I expected it to be really light and plasticky, and it's not, which is a nice surprise. I think the body is made out of aluminum, if I remember correct, with G10 scales on it, which I actually really comfortable. The only part I don't really like is right at the bottom here. It's kind of rough on your hands, and if you wear this in your pocket and you reach in there, it catches your hand. That fucking hurts. I don't really care for that. I wish it was rounded off a little, but not a deal breaker. The pocket clip is actually on the proper part of the knife. Most knives, cheap knives anyways, have it up here, and I don't like that. And I understand why they didn't put it up here, because that's where, the knife comes up, and it really wouldn't make sense anyways. But yeah, this is spring assisted, and it has a little thumb stud here, and I don't know why, because that's actually kind of difficult to use, and I don't like that at all. I always use the flipper for it, just push it down, it comes right up. And the action is surprisingly nice and smooth, and it's got zero spring jiggle in it, which is always nice. And the lock does hold it. It's got like no front to back or side to side play. Very, very little. I think I might actually have to tighten that screw because I've been flipping it around, and then it'll be really good. The liner lock on it has this little place for your finger where you push it and close it. And I don't know if I trust that very much. I mean, it holds it in there nice and solid, but to close it, it takes such little pressure that I feel like if you're holding this open and you grip it like this, and your finger has a potential to accidentally close that, and it's going to close on your hand if you stab something. And this thing is pretty damn sharp, and it will cut through your finger. So I'm not entirely liking that lock for it. Plus, I did test it outside off camera earlier today just to see how sharp it was. And I took a little piece of wood and I tried to carve it a little, which honestly, it did a really good job of it. But then the lock went all the way back, and that's kind of a bad design. I was able to just take my finger and pop it back out. But the reason is if you try to carve with it, it pushes the blade back, which makes the lock go further in. And that kind of sucks. But other than that, I mean, you're not going to use this for carving or whittling or anything anyways. This, let's be honest, is a weapon, and that's what you buy it as, either something to look at or collect, or a self-defense weapon. And for that purpose, it'll do its job very nice. I mean, this thing is designed to stab. It is only 440 stainless steel, made in China, but it comes surprisingly sharp. Like, this was shaving sharp right out of the package, and that was kind of nice to see. And it'll probably hold this edge for a long time because you're never really going to use it. So, but as far as a weapon goes, if you do stab somebody with this, it will stab very, very well. It's very sharp, very pointy, and it's made for that. But just be careful if you do end up having to use it, and I hope nobody does, and you stab somebody and you hit like a bone or something, be careful of this lock, because this thing might come back at you and you'll both get fucked. I literally, the only thing I don't like about this knife is that lock on it. If they had a more secure lock on it, this knife would actually be really cool for the money you pay for it, surprisingly. But yeah, that lock is just not very good. It's not very solid. Other than that, if you're looking for a cheap stiletto type knife just to collect and never really use, 'cause I don't know if they're even legal to carry. Gotta check your state laws, but if you're looking for something cheap just to collect that looks cool, you know, buy it. They're cheap as hell, and they do look cool. But if you're looking for something as a self-defense tool, I'd probably look at something else. But as of just something that you collect and look at or something, it's definitely worth buying. It's cheap, it's sharp, it's fun to fuck around with. They're intimidating as hell. Somebody tries to rob you and then you pull this out, they're probably going to think twice. Unless they got a gun, in which case you're donezo and the story, whatever. But yeah, that's pretty much it. I really don't know what else to say about it. I mean, it's like I said, I paid like $7 for this thing, so you're getting a decent knife. It's not great. It is a Tac-Force. It is cheap. But it's much better than you'd expect. So go ahead and take a chance if you want something to look at or collect. Hope you liked this video. Make sure you subscribe, and anything else you want to add, let me know in the comments down below.